Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Circling Seattle Sports. We are back with a game reaction one. Yes, I apologize. It's been a while. Things happen, life happens. I apologize. That's on me. It's taken a while. We're back to it. Two, we are in a different spot. We are in the same indoor studio, the same at home studio. We're just in a different part of it because of some lighting issue. Because light in the other corner where we normally are with the normal backdrop is out, and I need more of those bulbs, those LED bulbs, those strips. So we're in a temporary spot for the time being. We're in front of the Rain and Sounders part of the home studio, which obviously is not what we were talking about tonight. We were talking about the Kraken 3-2 win over the Anaheim Ducks on the road. Game three of the four consecutive games in a row on the road. This one is obviously the last one before the holiday break. A nice present for Kraken fans from the team here. It's tough because you want to look at this win, you say, okay, this Ducks team has struggled. They started the year off hot. They do have a lot of talent, but I mean, it's still been a really impressive stretch. The Kraken have now put together six consecutive games with at least a point, which is big. They are 4 wins, zero regulation losses, two overtime losses since their 8-game losing streak. So definitely some progress, making up ground in the wild card race after that long stretch of struggle there and just kind of general struggles to begin the season. Nice to put this together. We'll go over into some of the individual performances, but we do have a photo of the game here by Jae C Hong. Vince Young celebrating his goal in the first period that gave the Kraken a 2-0 advantage. Our player of the game is Vince Dunn. Vince had a goal and 2 assists, so he was involved in all three of the Kraken goals tonight. Obviously there was some questions about Vince in the offseason signing the deal that he did, even though it was a relatively fine deal to give Vince Dunn following his career season. There are questions: is he going to be able to put up the points that he did? Blah blah blah. He hasn't had the greatest year per se. There were, some not great penalties at during the last homestand that helped push along towards the loss there. And there are mistakes, but just continuing to see the point production has been big with Vince Dunn. He hit 100 career assists with the Kraken. He becomes the first player in franchise history to record 100 assists with the Kraken. A lot of folks are saying first record 100 assists. That it's very general and it's incorrect. First Kraken player in franchise history to record 100 assists with the club. Big for Vince to continue his production there and to see his numbers continue to stack up. Um, he had the second most shots in 5-on-5 play, which is interesting. Keeping that top defenseman pairing together is big, but his goal was really the product of some nice passing. Tomas Tatar, who we'll talk about in a minute, to Matty Beniers. Beniers finding Vince Dunn wide open on the back door. A great passing play, a great build-up to give the Kraken their second goal of the game. My apologies. And just continuing to see him contribute. I mean, having him involved in all three of the points is big. It's his second 3-point game of the season. So again, nice to continue to see that sort of production from Vince. The Davy Jones hat recipient, if you know, when the Kraken win, there's the Davy Jones hat that they give out. The previous winner of the hat will give out to a player who they think is the grittiest, or someone who contributed in sort of an under the radar way. Talked about how ahead of season 2 last year, the leadership group wanted it to be someone who maybe necessarily didn't get all the points, but someone who impacted the game and maybe didn't get noticed as much on the score sheet. So Tomas Tatar, hello. There we go. There's Tomas. Tomas Tatar is the hat recipient of the game tonight. I mean, he had a solid game as well, a goal and an assist in this one since being acquired via trade, a 5th-round pick sent to the Colorado Avalanche. Only one goal in his 27 games with the Avs this year, 2 goals already with the Kraken, 4 points in 4 games as a member of the Kraken so far for Tomas. and he's been relatively solid. He does a lot of the gritty, grindy things. It's this nice veteran presence, just really solid, and kind of brings some life to that top line that's been talked about by a bunch of different folks who cover the Kraken. Really helping Matty Beniers and Jordan Eberle in terms of stat production, really ramp things up. That top line for Seattle has really been able to get things going, and he's been a huge help with those two, and I think he should stay there. I don't think there should be any debate about it. I think you should keep Tomas Tatar up there on the top line with Jordan Eberle, with Matty Beniers, because they've looked really strong. They've looked really strong. Trying to see if we've got any numbers there. Tomas's goal ended up being the game winner. His effort earned him the highest game score of any player in the game. So, Davy Jones had not necessarily unwarranted with a 2.48 score, which was more than Matty Beniers' 1.94 and Joey Decor's 1.53. See if we can get any more on that. Nope. But no, I mean, he's been really solid. To get him for a fifth rounder is impressive. There's been a lot of comparisons to the acquisition of Eli Tolvanen last year, and I can understand that. I mean, another acquisition that's come in and provided a boost for the Kraken. Obviously, a little bit different situation. Eli Tolvanen had been sitting for Nashville, wanted to play, wasn't able to there, wasn't used really properly down with the Predators. And then here with Tomas Tatar, a veteran who had been playing, just hadn't been working out in terms of point production. It's interesting hearing it from Ron Francis. Francis said he wanted to send a message to the team that he would support them even with their struggles. So that was interesting to see, because some folks thought it might be a message that, hey, if things don't keep going right, we got a guy lined up. So, no, nice to see Tomas continue his production. Also nice to see Joey Decord continue his impressive play in the net for the Kraken. Just been really, really strong. It's his 10th quality start of the season, saved 1.7 goals above expected. There were a few numbers that we'll get to here, but there were more than a few opportunities where Anaheim really should have been on the board. That second period was big for Anaheim. We'll look at it when we get to the stats as well. But that second period for Anaheim really saw them push and push. And they got their first goal of the game, yes, on a power play. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it really seemed like momentum was going their way, and that Seattle was going to have to do something to answer that. And Joey Decord was more than ready to be able to help keep his team in the lead and just kind of hold the door shut. So, yeah, the 1.7 goal save above expected. In this win, an 8.13 goal save above expected is the second best in the NHL during the month of December so far. Joey's second, UC Saros number one. His other numbers over 9 games in December include a 1.9 goals against average and a .936 save percentage. So Joey's been rock solid. And I don't really want to say relief per se, but with Philip Grubauer injured, they haven't started Chris Driedger. I thought maybe this was the game that we saw Chris get a start. That wasn't the case, but just to see Joey continue to be really strong in the net. There was obviously the run that Martin Jones had last year while Philip Grubauer was injured around this time of the season, and they kind of look similar. I mean, you need someone to hold things down. Dave Haxall has rode the hot hand with Joey Decord here, and he's looked excellent. He had the 2 days off after the win over the Kings, and it seemed like it was enough for Joey there. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if it's Joey going again against Calgary to finish off the road trip on the 27th, but I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll also be interesting to see who ends up getting the start in net during the Winter Classic. So that's something to watch. But regardless, Joey has been rock solid in net for the Kraken there. Other sort of stats and numbers there. Yanni Gourde hit 500 career NHL games. We do have a few other numbers. It was obviously, again, his 500 career NHL game. He becomes the 18th active undrafted player to reach the 500 game milestone. And to date, 408 undrafted players have reached the 500 game milestone in NHL history. Also, Vince Dunn with his secondary assist on Oliver Bjorkstrand's first period goal. Vince Dunn became the first player, again, in franchise history to hit 100 assists with the club. I did mention that. So couple other numbers there. We get to the team related numbers. Special teams, not too much going. There was talk heading into this game about how Anaheim was, I think they're the most penalized team in the NHL, one of the most. I believe they are the most penalized teams in the NHL. There's talk about converting when you get those power plays, and Seattle did. I mean, they were 1 for 1. Kind of surprised there was only the one. On the penalty kill side of things, the kill continues to be strong. Um, there was the 4-minute minor that Brendan Tanev took for a high stick that went up and hit one of the Ducks players and cut his cheek. It was also weird because that same player whose cheek got cut had the puck hit Brendan Tanev in the face. So it was a little bit of an odd mixture there. Uh, um, but But yeah, it was tough. The Ducks got their first goal of the night on that. Uh, Frank Vetrano on a power play goal. Then the Ducks had 2 minutes and 13 seconds left on the power play. Ultimately, didn't do anything else with it. And the Kraken kill was able to get rid of the other two power plays that they saw the rest of the night. So nice to see that progress. They're just a little bit surprised that Seattle didn't get any more opportunities on the man advantage. In terms of other key stats, I mean, nothing too crazy here per se. The shots on goal, and you'll see in the little red part there. Really, again, after that power play goal by Frank Vetrano, the Ducks really started to turn things in their momentum, started to tilt the ice in their favor in terms of offensive shot generation. Um, so it was interesting. The Kraken did create 54.7% of all shot volume in 5-on-5 play. They controlled the shot quality. Um, as they built their lead and then protected that lead. Um, let's look at the deeper stats because there's those ones that you're seeing, right? But so Anaheim won the shot quality battle by 1.3. Seattle had 2.2 shot quality. Anaheim had 3.5. And there's obviously the shots on goal that you can see here. Seattle did win the percentage of the puck in the O zone on 5-on-5, tied in high danger chances, tied in turnover chances, and Seattle had more shot attempts in 5-on-5. Defensively, Anaheim better their entry denial, 42% to 23 for Seattle. Seattle did get out of the zone better at 85% to 74%. So again, the power play, not too much. Seattle only had 2 shot attempts on that one power play they got, and one of them was a goal by Oliver Bjorkstrand. So excellent, great. Anaheim had 14 attempts, 8 on goal on the 3 power plays that they had, and only converted the one. Obviously, again, Joey Daccord really strong in net. A quality save there. Lucas Dostal for Anaheim does not get a quality start in there. So, no, I mean, interesting there to see the generation numbers on a deeper aspect of things, but it really did feel like after the Vetrano goal, Anaheim was buzzing. They were trying to get another one there. And thankfully, from the Kraken penalty kill and Joey Daccord, they did not. Trevor Zegras gets the Michigan goal. We have to talk about that, of course. That was impressive and all that. And it was the second of the night because Connor Bedard got one against St. Louis. Both of those players had their teams lose those games that they played, though. So there's that. But anyway, I apologize. Nice win. Nice to go out and get that 2-goal lead in the first period. Really go out and make the shots and that nice burst in the first period matter with the 2 goals. Get the third one from Tomas Tatar, the second iteration of Tuna Time in a Kraken uniform, to add on to that lead, and you'd end up needing it because the Zegras goal was the second one of the night for Anaheim, and really kind of put some pressure on Seattle. Seattle does a great job of wasting time at the end of the game. Yanni Gourde is able to win the battles up in the Anaheim offensive zone so that Lucas Dostal cannot go to the bench. He gets it out all the way. He sends one back all the way to Joey Daccord, who gets it up to Jamie Alexiak, kills a bunch of time in the process of that. So really impressive in that and finishing the game out there, and important to do that. So a nice 2 points. You're 3 points out of a wild card spot at the moment. Still need to continue to gain ground. It's your last game before the holiday break. When they return, when they return, the Kraken will play the 27th at the Calgary Flames. That game, oh shoot, I should probably know this. Let me get this here. That game is a 6:30 p.m. Pacific time puck drop, um, and that will be in the Root Sports package if you've got that. After that, 2 days later on the 29th, the Kraken will come back home to play the Philadelphia Flyers, and then on the 1st of January, obviously, is the Winter Classic. So hoping to see you there. Still, knock on wood. Ow. Still waiting to hear back from the NHL. So we'll see. Cross your fingers for us. But until we see you then, take care of yourselves, be well, and do whatever you can to make today a great day.